Roll call.
Martini,
Here.
Jennings,
Here.
Newman,
Here.
Sparks,
Here.
correct me if I'm not saying this right, Shell,
Schwab,
Schlaf?
close
Okay.
enough, yeah, good. Here,
All right, motion to excuse Rob, Matt, and Paul.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, agenda additions. Anybody have anything they need to add to the agenda today?
I'd like to talk a little bit, just a little bit about this aerobic treatment unit stuff. Is that on the agenda,
Okay,
or is
no,
that
it's
comment
not.
from the,
No, I could just add, we'll just add it to.
comments from the floor, or something?
Yeah, let's just add it to new business 7.
Okay.
7A. All right, motion to approve the agenda as amended.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, approval of the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the August 1st meeting as they're presented.
I second that. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, see, blasting through, okay. Hey, look who's rolling in late, Mr. Snyder. Yes, we have.
I'm sorry.
We're like done, halfway done.
Do I have to sing
We're-
the school fight song again?
We're actually at your part right now.
Yeah, you're up.
What might that be?
Okay, call to the public. Public, this is your opportunity to speak now, forever hold your peace. We're good? Good? Anything to add? No? All right, close the call to the public. All right, new business, we're on 7 already. We moved that fast here, so you had a topic you wanted to talk about?
Yeah,
Let's talk about
aerobic treatment units. You guys ever looked at that before? There's
Nope.
something new and exciting?
Nope, nope. You said last time you were here, you talked about this as some kind of sewage treatment system?
Yeah, yeah. If you want to see one, I got one in the back of my car, seriously.
Drag it in.
Well, I
No.
figure we'd hit it on the way out.
Okay, okay.
But
So-
it's a way to improve, to go from anaerobic treatment that we all have to aerobic, which means they use a different kind of bug, it cleans it up better. At least that's everything I read, you know.
Okay.
And you can put it in to an existing septic tank and improve the output of the septic tank. And-
Okay.
And
Is it require, goes in the tank, not the field? It's actually.
No, it goes in the tank. It goes
Okay.
in preferably in the first compartment of a two-compartment tank.
Okay,
Just found out Monday that Oakland County has approved it. They'll let it go in, as long as you have it done by a licensed contractor and a professional engineer signs off on it. Not me, babe, not me. I've researched a bunch of websites. Anybody wants a copy, or you want to give them a
sure,
copy?
yes, pass it down.
What about residents that,
Is this like one?
are they allowed to use it, the residents that are, like, let's say, there's already a sewer in front of their street, so like you're not allowed to like repair your septics and things like
No, as
that?
far as I know, you are.
I think if you're,
Yeah, so right now, if your septic system fails and you have a sewer line at the street at your house, which is most of the lakefront properties, I don't believe you can get a permit to repair or modify your septic system. I believe you have to connect to the city sewer if it's on the street that you're at. If you're off the street that has the city sewer, then you can obviously repair, maintain, change your septic systems. So for the houses that have it, and don't, this is what I know, don't quote me on it, I guess you'd have to go see about pulling permits from the
Yeah,
village office.
yeah.
But generally, when the sewer was installed, they basically won't issue repair permits for septic systems where the sewer exists.
but if this is more of a maintenance thing, I wonder if,
Yeah,
like,
it's
similar to
different.
pumping out, if this, I don't.
If it
have any-
prolongs the life of the tank you
Right.
have, maybe that's a different
Right.
It
situation,
does,
so.
it does. From everything I've
Yeah.
read on it, the big feature is it cleans up the septic tank. Liquid comes out pretty clean with a lot of the nitrogen and phosphorus removed. And and it actually reclaims a septic field because it pumps aerobic bacteria into it, and it just destroys the biomass, which I learned now is something that, but I've been looking at it for around the lake. I will have to let's see, who do I contact?
The village, I mean, you talk to Dave would be a good point, Dave Gillum, he's the admin. I can
Yeah,
probably
Talked
direct
to him
you.
yesterday, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so,
He didn't
but
say
anybody in
it.
the office would understand if you could get permits for it and everything else. My guess is, I shouldn't speculate because it's not my area.
Yeah, it's not
But I
mine.
know like repairing your septics, if you have the sewer, and most houses that are lakefront have the sewer infrastructure at the street.
Okay.
They require you to connect, and that's why we did a special assessment district program where people could sign up for, and that way, if their septic system did fail, they could get the cost of the connection spread out over 10 years
Okay.
on their taxes as an alternative. So, because it's both, if you want to connect now, you could do it, or if in the future your septic tank failed, you wouldn't have to come out and pay the money to connect to the city sewer. You would have the opportunity to put it on your taxes over 10 years. So that's what we had done a couple years ago,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
connect more houses that are lakefront to the sewer, because we wanted to get more houses off septic that are lakefront,
Okay.
right? So we were able to get like 40-something houses signed up on that, which was good. But this could be an alternate thing to prolong the length and the life of
Yeah.
your septic system separately,
Yeah.
right? Whether they would give a permit for the lake houses to do it or not is not my area.
Okay.
Yeah, but certainly for people that live off the lake, it would be
Yeah, interesting.
viable. So this thing is, I don't know, what do these things cost? What does it actually do?
What does it do?
Yeah, what is it actually, is it?
Oh, you drop, it's that big around, you drop it into your septic tank,
Yeah.
and you hook a very small compressor to it, and it blows air into it,
Okay.
and it changes it from anaerobic to
Okay.
aerobic. And
And that just runs all the time? It's got like a pump?
runs all the time, yeah, got a little tiny pump,
Mm-hmm.
0.6 amps.
Mm-hmm. Yes, unlike conventional systems, ATUs also use oxygen to break down organic matter. So it's like an aeration system for inside your septic.
Yeah.
I just gotta help the bugs do their job.
Yeah, no doubt. So, I guess,
Well, I'll go that route and check with Dave.
yeah, they would let you know, like, if you could get a permit for it. I guess, how expensive are these things?
The one I have in the car is about $1,400 altogether.
Okay.
And you can do it. Oakland County, this I just found out Monday, Oakland County issued a permit to do it,
Okay.
but you have to have a contractor do it. You can't just
Sure.
drop it in yourself, which
Sure.
irritates me. But, so I don't know if that runs it up to $2,000 or $4,000, but
Yep.
it's way better than $20,000 for.
Yeah, if it's an
Yeah,
alter
that's true.
to extend, you know?
Yeah, and I'm sure it would, and I'm sure it would help the lake.
Yeah.
Is there any data on how much septic gets into the lake?
I don't have that. There was a study that was maybe like, I don't know, 10 years ago where they put dye in houses
Okay.
around the lake. I think it was part of when they were deciding to put the infrastructure in,
Okay.
right? Which I think they used to help justify the need to put the lake infrastructure in. But it's not like alarming amounts or something that
Okay.
we have. You know, we do test the lake for E. coli
Okay.
every year, multiple times a
Yeah,
year and
yeah.
stuff. But they did do a dye program to try and understand what seepage might have come from houses into the lake. But again, that's why the main solution to that was get the actual city sewer around the lake for houses to connect to.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't actually think I have that study.
Going around the lake lately, this has changed my aspect of just going around the lake in a pontoon boat. When I go around, I look at all the houses, with a little short front,
Yeah.
and I say, they must have a big backyard, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, my house, when I was on septic, I didn't have a field. I had a dry well. So I
Okay.
had a septic tank and a dry well, and because the front of the property wasn't big enough to have a field.
Yeah.
But it was under my driveway, which is annoying.
That's on page 3 of the manual.
Yeah.
Don't put it under a driveway.
Yeah, yeah, yes. That's why I'm now connected to the city sewer.
Ah, okay.
Okay, was there anything else you wanted to talk about? There's a whole bunch of info here, so.
No, it's just,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if it's something that you get information from Dave on,
Yeah.
if they can be installed in the lake houses, if it's something that they issue a permit for, and if there's some information that suggests it extends the septic system's lifetime, then, you know, we could encourage people to do it as an alternative to connecting. But let's get with Dave and understand what the permitting is. It's the same reason when they tell you need a contractor to do it, it's because they're gonna have to go for a permit, right?
okay. All right, thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you. It's ATU, for people that didn't catch it, is called an aerobic treatment unit. So it looks like there's a bunch of information online about them, so if anybody's interested.
If you go on the bottom of that page, I think I said, I searched on YouTube, I searched for,
Aerobic treatment septic
yeah.
systems. Yep.
And I said there's more than 100. I think there are way more than 100
Sure.
on there. They just
Sure.
keep coming and coming.
Cool. Okay, we'll move on from that if we're good. Next is administrative report, current lake level. We were right where we need to be. It was like 0.11 feet, but right in the green zone of where we need to be, so the lake level is good. You know, obviously, we don't start the drawdown until the end of October, so we're just maintaining it right now at the middle, which is good. Noteworthy complaints from the village. We did get an email that Dave had forwarded about some complaints just about the weeds as of late. A lot of floating weeds, that's like wild celery that's on the lake. So they're gonna kind of guide the harvester into some of those areas, to try and get those. We did have our final lake treatment though, it's September 4th. So we're pretty much done for the year on lake treatments, but, you know, it's the same kind of story that you generally get, that, you know, the weather's warm this late, things keep growing, right? But they said with the cool down, it's gonna cool down soon, and then things should be better. But yeah, there's the floating weeds that you see are wild celery, or it's chopped up from the boat traffic.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Is it, like, the more active the boats are, the
Yeah.
more they, or, it's not like the harvester misses some, is it?
So we've looked at that. You know, we've had operators that do a better job than others, but the ones that, I mean, the last couple of years, it's been pretty damn good.
Yeah. This year was.
The machine itself is capable of getting like high 90% of what it cuts, right? So it's mostly, when you talk to like Paul and Jared, they basically think it's mostly boat chop. Right? But we're gonna send the harvester out to the areas that were identified. Like I said, it's mostly looks like it's wild celery. That, you know, it grows and gets up close to the surface, and then boats can easily chop it up. So definitely down by the beach on the far end. There's a bunch up there that I saw while I was out there. So
There's
they're
a bunch
just,
in front of my house.
yeah. So they're just gonna go and take the problem is you're on. I believe you're on Lakeview on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the harvester can't get that. So
Oh,
it's
no,
generally-
wait, no,
yeah.
no, on
Yeah.
the south end, by McCoy.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But it doesn't bother me, you know.
Yeah. So they're gonna send the harvester around, but that was it. There was just some complaints here late. We did pretty good. We really didn't have any complaints this summer. You know, the lake was in pretty good shape, so got some here late in the year. It's unfortunate, but pretty good. You guys, anybody else see anything or hear any issues?
I had people question like the floating,
Yeah.
you know, why, because my neighbor across my street is a big swim guy, like he
Yeah.
gets off every morning with the
Sure,
buoy and
sure.
swims, he's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, could be the harvester, probably bolt chop.
And where you are, the
It's
wind
bad,
blows in
it's
that
all
way.
blows it, like, right down.
Everything on the main lake goes right.
Yeah, if you
into
ever
your-
are missing like a boat cushion or a floatable, I had a pontoon boat the last storm,
Yeah.
smash into mine,
Yeah.
like blew right down.
My friend lives right off of Tampa, and everything just blows that way all day long.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, he gets all the floating,
Algae, weeds.
all the floating anything.
Beer cans, dead fish, you name it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, key date, 9's key date stuff, so, we did last treatment, like I said, we had the last treatment on the 4th, so that's pretty much done for the year. We generally keep running the harvester until mid-October, so probably by the time we have our next water board meeting, the harvester will be done. We'll do, I'm gonna try in October, try and get to the October council meeting and just kind of give a summary overall of, money spent on the weed harvester, not the harvester, the weed treatments, hours run on the harvester, days that the lake was above or below the max limit. So I'll try and get that together in October. So I might ping you guys over email to try and get some of the information together, but we'll try and get it to maybe council in October as well. I'll try and do that. And then the next thing really is fish stocking, which we got done, but we'll get there in 1 second. So yeah, that last year we got the lake stocked the end of October.
Yep.
So that'll be the thing that we want to talk about today, get a plan there, and then we'll keep the lake up. I think basically we stop running the pumps in October to maintain lake level, but we don't force the lake down until October 31st. So that's what's in front of us between the now and the end of October. It's really wrapping up, getting our summer together, get the fish stocked, and start drawing down the lake. And then, well, that's it. That's all I have through October. So. All right, so with that, let's talk fish stocking.
All right, so I was out last meeting, I apologize, it's the one I can't, but I have been in contact with the DNR, like, the first discussion, I didn't know there was a second Wolverine Lake in Luce County,
No,
apparently,
okay.
so like, first time I call, I entered in a great discussion, and I talked about our fish stocking report that I sent Sarah the year before, about like, we put minnows in and bass, and the lady's like, my records don't show it. So she says, I have you down for rainbow trout, and I'm like, there's no
Like, that's
rain-
not gonna work.
So I'm like, what the heck? So they say there was Luce County. So that discussion ended until like, I got a hold of Sarah on the phone, like the lady we told before, and her big thing is, the same thing the last time we left off, the report she's going off is the concern for the stunted population of feeder fish, particularly like the bluegill and everything. So if you remember last year, we put in 1,000 walleye, which were predator fish. So I could not remember for the life of me the amount the budget was for the fish stocking.
2,500
Okay,
usually what we have.
that, because once I tell her that, she can give me a better idea of, what direction we need to go in terms of what to put in there, because obviously different fish serve a different purpose and they're different price, and I was concerned, I'm like, well, it's late in the game. She goes, typically, you do most of your fish stocking in late October, November anyway, so she said we're not in a critical calendar mode.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to give her a number. I couldn't remember. I went through my email, I couldn't find anything for that, so.
$2,500 is what we usually carry.
Right, so I can, once I give her that number, she said she can help me put together like a pretty good cross-section of what our lake would need based on, the last survey they did for us several years ago and what we've put in, because we had good data that you supplied us, going from 2022 was the last date
Yeah.
on there, and it was all feeder fish, which she said might be leading to part of the problem, because like,
We had, let me just see.
it was like fathead minnows and shiners in 2022, and then we put 1,000 walleye in last year.
Yeah.
So
Before that, though, it was all bass.
largemouth bass.
Yeah, smallmouth,
Yeah,
largemouth.
which he said not ideal because it was not like a variety, so to speak. So like you put bass in every year, bass feed on the same thing every year, so you're going to create like an imbalance. So she said like, she would help me develop like a 2 to 3 year plan, so I don't have to keep. I think it was so I don't have to keep calling her.
Sure.
But but like where we could get like a cycle like every year.
Do you
like-
remember, because you're referencing the survey that they did, like,
Yeah.
how did that happen, or when
They,
did
that was an
happen?
interesting thing, like, they have us they have all the inland lakes in Oakland County, like, on a schedule, and it varies between, like, 7 and 10 years, because, like, last year, I was all fired up, I'm like, hey, we'll come on out and do it, like, you know.
Yeah, because we had actually put $1,500 in the budget.
Right.
To
But
do an
they-
actual fish survey.
They don't schedule it. Like, they
Yeah.
just have all the inland lakes in Oakland County, like, on
Rotating.
a rotation. And like, ours isn't up for a few more years, so they just go off that same survey.
Okay, so for timing wise,
Yeah.
I thought we probably would today have to pick what we need to do, but she made it sound like that's not the case, because they stock
No,
them the end of
like,
October.
I can have that, once I have the budget.
Yeah.
I can call and I can have that like in no time. Because
Okay.
she says once, because like I said, like, she wants to give us like a good cross-section of what our lake needs to, hopefully, she thinks our lake is like out of balance,
Mhm.
you know, based on what we've been stocking for the years and then
Mhm.
the results of the last study. So she wants to get like more, I forget the word,
Predator fish?
variety, diversity. She wants to have a more diverse population.
Yeah.
You know, and like, if you look at that, like, there was a period of time where we were putting bass,
Yeah.
bass.
Yeah.
And then,
People come and fish them.
I know.
I catch a billion bluegill.
Yeah, but the
I find
problem
it
is
hard to
all-
believe there's a bluegill shortage.
But the problem is they're all small.
Okay.
Like that's what you said. The problem is there's too many.
Okay,
And they're not, like,
so they don't grow enough.
yeah, because like they're not being, that was what the walleyes were supposed to help with, is
Okay.
like they will feed on those and create like less competition for food amongst like the bluegill, and then they'll get like bigger, you
Okay.
know? But I will attest to that, like, I can go off my dock and catch like one every 2 seconds, but they're all like this big.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they're all like that big.
yeah.
You know, I've even caught them off the beds, which they should be really large on
Yeah,
the beds. And
yeah.
even the bedding bluegill are like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So like what she's saying, like just from what I witnessed, kind of like makes sense. So, but yeah, Ryan, it's not like I have to start the process over. She's ready to roll.
Okay.
I just needed to supply her with a number and then she'll.
Okay,
help me.
yeah, because we're
Yep.
basically always stocking in October. So I don't know if we have to wait until next meeting to say it and then make the recommendation, or does it just have, should we just do it offline? Or you're gonna get the information, I guess, if we let them know like middle of October?
I mean, my plan is to call them back tomorrow, and then
Okay.
I'll start working with that Inlay City Fish Farm like we did last year, because remember last year, we said we wanted walleye, and they didn't have them like at that exact time. Like they had it was a couple weeks when they had the walleyes in stock, and then they came out in the end of October and put them in the lake.
Okay, so who is what is the company or the person you're getting the recommendations from?
Sarah at the DNR. Same lady I got the last time. It's been phone conversation.
So, since we are gonna be spending money, and we don't probably wanna wait until October to do it, we probably need to do some level of motion here to recommend, spending no more than $2,500 on fish stocking based on recommendations of Sarah from
Mhm.
DNR.
We need with administrative approval or the chair?
What is that?
Does you want it for like administrative approval from the motion as well? Just be reviewed by Gillum?
Yes.
Reviewed by the
Yeah, yeah.
village and?
Yeah, yeah. So, let's, I guess, put.
So that way we can just move on it.
Yep, right, maybe just take care of it and go off
Right.
the DNR, and so. like
So then
Sunday.
I'll
You wanna put
keep
it?
the line of communication between the fish farm and the
Okay.
DNR. I'll just forward everything to you, Ryan, so you can see where the conversation is. And
Okay.
Let's do this. So I'll make a motion that we approve not to exceed $2,500 for fish stocking and for Dan to take point on it and follow the guidelines of our point of contact at the DNR.
Correct.
With the village administration's final approval of what they recommend.
All righty.
Okay.
Support.
All right. Got a motion seconded by Paul. It's money spent, so roll call vote.
Sure. Martini,
Aye.
Snyder,
Aye.
Shell.
Schloff.
You'll get it, you'll get
I'm gonna get it.
it.
It's like Schlitz beer, but you're probably too young. You know, Schlitz beer.
Yes.
They still make Schlitz.
Jenny,
They
Yes.
do?
Yeah.
Spark.
Yes.
They still make Schlitz.
Unanimous?
I mean, it's pretty much said the way it looks, schloff, so.
Okay. All right, so fish stocking, good goods. Hopefully they get that, in October here, which would be good. All right, continuing business, plant control, invasive species. This is just kind of a generic standing topic.
main thing here is just that we're done with the treatments for the year. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Things will die off on their own, and we'll come back after it. In the spring, we will continue running the harvester until, at least mid-October. So that's the plan. So any plant control at this point forward is just gonna be via the harvester. Nothing additional from myself from the harvester. Anybody have anything? Our harvester, who's the new harvester person, by the way? I think it's Matt, and he's not here. We reallocated that. Let's see. Yeah, it's Matt. So I don't have anything new. I still see the harvester running around out there, so I think we're all good. Next is lake enforcement issues. I haven't seen or heard anything. I was out there, I checked all the buoys and everything. Last time I was out, I'm out there at nighttime quite a bit, and they're still lit up and working, so no concerns there. Boat count, we could take the boat count off the agenda next time. We just wanted to summarize from last time. You guys did the boat.
Did Rob
count.
supply
You
the
brought the
numbers?
boat count.
Yep, we put it
I
in.
got them here too.
Yeah, I got all the numbers from Rob last time.
That was an interesting day,
Just counting boats.
counting boats,
Yeah.
a lot of boats.
Yep. The signage, so if you recall last time, Rob had another 3 signs that he wanted to replace, based on the fact that they're not legible. One over here, I think down by the cleaning station, one over here over by the dam. He has started that inquiry, he sent a note on it. Basically, the one over by the cleaning station is so bad you can't even read what it's supposed to say to make another one.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So he basically is gonna go try and figure out what that's supposed to say, right? And then once he knows what that's supposed to say, he would make a recommendation on doing all 3 and get a quote on all 3. But he hasn't gotten a quote because he hasn't narrowed down what that's supposed to say yet, based on the people that put it in last time. So he's still looking at the signs. No request at this point. He said he could probably bring something in October if we want to replace those. So he's still working on it. Let's just see if there's anything else there from Rob.
No.
Da-da-da. Yep, that's it. He's basically said he'll do all 3 signs at once he can figure out what he's gonna do with that one. All right, man, we're blasting through. Future business items, open discussion. What do you guys got? What do we got,
Is,
guys?
no, is it next meeting or November is our last meeting? Speaking of
I'm
future.
pretty sure last year we canceled November, because third week of November was like right on top of Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I
Yep,
do remember
so
that.
I'll double check that.
I think you're right, I do
I think
remember
we booted November, December, and January last year,
that.
or at least December, January.
Yeah.
Or if we did February too or something.
February was, I don't know if it was booted, I think it was light attendance, or,
I'll figure that out and I'll send you guys an email.
oh, we didn't meet quorum? That's what
On
it was.
February?
Yep.
Yeah. Look at that, she's got the notes.
It's on top of it.
Did we meet November last year? Do you know?
I think you guys canceled November, December.
And January.
And then February was canceled because there was one.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe next one could be, might be the last one for the year. Any future stuff that we need to discuss like I said, for me, I'll probably come in with the summary in October. I could review with you guys before I bring it to council. Other stuff, I'm just looking at the types of stuff that we normally talk about here, just the general agenda stuff. We've pretty much covered all this stuff. You know, we had a lot of discussions on erosion at one point in time that kind of faded off. Fish population, water quality,
aeration system, recycle shrink wrap, we did that this year. Boater safety courses, the safety thing, we did that. Brought the chief in. So we've hit most of these things. So I don't have any specific topic that we'll bring in next month, unless you guys have something specific. What do you think, Mr. Snyder?
I think we're doing great.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like that? What about you guys, nothing? All good, just sailing off into the sunset at the end of summer here? All right, we'll move on.
Wait, if I come up with more on this information, I should contact you somehow?
No, just bring it in next month.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Talk.
But if I get knocked down that fast, if I learn, I should have a better case next month and find out.
Yeah, bring it in, we'll add it to the agenda, we can talk about it.
You bet.
Either way, still let us know what you find out. If they
Yeah.
say, if they
Yeah.
say no,
Yeah.
please come in and say.
Yeah, because
no.
it knocked me back. you
I mean,
know.
it'd be, you know, if there's something that's, you know, even if it's not the lakefront properties, say, right? I mean, we could think about how to promote that type of thing, you know, because even if it's the houses just off the lake, it's still good.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're
So-
allowed to fix and repair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it would definitely benefit some of the community, if
Sure.
not the whole community that has septic.
And it is all one water table at the end of the
Yeah.
day. right? So
Exactly.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, one watershed.
I think the first thing would be to understand, like, is it a viable option for people that have sewer at the street, right?
Mhm.
Is it something that would be even permitted to do?
Right.
And then if not, it still would be an option for people that don't have sewer at the street,
Right.
which then we could figure out a way to
Maybe-
get some
maybe-
education material out there. We can, you know, if we wanted to, shit, you could do something similar to what we did to get people connected to the sewer, right?
Right.
For people that are off the sewer line or something.
Right.
So there's
Get
options.
the
that we could do.
information out.
Okay.
So, you know, there's ways that we can get education material out or information to people. But I think next I would probably find out if it's a viable option for lakefront homes and the homes that are not, based on where the sewer is connected. And then we
Yeah.
could figure out how we want to promote the idea, get people knowledgeable about it, et cetera.
I can see where it would be particularly helpful for somebody who has a slowly failing system, isn't quite there yet, and is waiting for the sewer SAD signatures to catch up. And gosh, I need to make it another year or two, and I don't want to pluck out 20 grand right now.
Yeah, and that's what comes out in this thing, that, oh geez, you know, it reestablishes a leach field, you know,
Yeah.
how it does that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, so next time, if you find out more information,
I will.
bring it in, we'll talk
Yeah,
about it, and then we'll
definitely.
figure out how to.
you said you have one in your truck?
Yeah.
I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, I will too.
Okay.
Don't tell anybody, so I can just put it in.
Yeah.
You just brought us
This
in.
is recorded.
You just told everybody.
Yeah.
Turn that thing off.
Actually, it'd be worse if you
Yeah,
just
this
taken
is,
it out of yours to show us.
This is public information now.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, liaison reports, who's going first? It looks like village council first.
Really productive meeting. We had actually Priority Waste Representative come in.
Oh.
And they
man.
gave us kind of a lowdown about how the
But
the handoff didn't go so well.
The trucks were sabotaged, and we didn't have blah, blah, blah. It's like, you could look at every single village or township that they took over.
Oh, yeah.
and everybody has the same complaints, and they have the same story for everybody.
Yeah, Sterling Heights was.
So do we
happening
believe
all
it?
the time.
And then is there an out?
They showed up, they made a presentation explaining the handoff didn't go so well, and like you said, the equipment wasn't up to their standards, and they had to deadline a bunch of vehicles, and they say they are gonna make improvements, adding cameras and surveillance to all their vehicles, so they can have live updates, and
They don't, like, the previous garbage company would take everything.
Everything.
Everything. These guys don't take, they just leave stuff.
They left, in my.
They took stuff out of my recycling.
Yes.
I have.
Cardboard boxes.
I had this metal arm. It's aluminum, but it's not like, I mean, a truck would make short work of this thing. It's not, they took it out of the recycling. Took the recycling and left that on the curb.
They did that to me with boxes.
It's crazy.
Boxes?
Cardboard boxes. I
Was
can't-
it pizza boxes?
No, it was like Amazon cardboard boxes. Like, they just left them on.
See, and that's under the, because I've read the, like what you're supposed to recycle and what you're not. Like, you can't recycle like your thin plastic and stuff like that, so
No.
I'm real diligent about all that.
Yeah.
I thankfully have not had an issue, and I know in Sterling Heights, they're allowed like 3 or 4 bulk items, like per week. I don't know if that's the same.
They
for us.
don't do anything. They couldn't take anything.
They just left them in the yard.
Anyway, so they came in, people had the opportunity to complain. We did not take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Instead, we're just
Yeah.
venting that.
They were here.
The only
They-
issue
the-
I had is they skipped me 1 week or.
Yeah, but people had the opportunity to come to council if they
They
wanted
did,
to and
it was here,
listen to it.
it was open for Q
Open
and
forum. Okay.
A.
And then what was the conclusion?
Conclusion is, they know there was an issue, they made improvements, they're going to continue improvements, things are getting better. If you still have issues, still call the village.
Okay.
Still call with them. They did hire more phone technicians to deal with it, they did retrain them, they said there was an issue. Some of their,
Issues
the way
all
they were
over.
talking to, concerned customers,
Mhm.
said they resolved them. So, moving forward, we'll just see, and hopefully they continue to get better.
Is there like, they come back in 6 months, or is it just open-ended, they left and they were like?
I'm guessing that if we don't complain, they're not going back.
Yeah, okay.
And we'll keep it in, if there's an issue, just,
Yeah.
there's still a database up in the administration, so.
Okay.
Oh, wait, they are keeping a record, so they
Any
said they're making
complaints?
complaints.
You got complaints, call the village.
Call them so they can keep track of it, but then call Priority Waste so they can route a truck out, or
Mhm.
whatever they have to do to, if they miss you, come get your stuff, or.
Yeah, Even the old, like, the last company, if there was something that they didn't take, like, say you didn't like, chop up the sticks small enough or something, where they would put a tag on it that would check the box as to why that thing wasn't taken, so that you could address.
Right.
Yeah.
So you knew
The big
what to
storm
do.
last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now it's just, they take stuff out, just leave it there, peace out. Super strange. Okay, outside of.
All right, so the next one, you see all the road edges around the roads that we just repaired on the lake. We are actually getting them new topsoil put in, grass seed put down. Right now, it's still the like ugly rock on the side of it.
Yeah.
That's being fixed.
Okay.
I even saw them out today doing up by Shankin. So
Okay.
they're working on that. Same thing for like Penny Lake drain they put in. That's finished, and they're gonna keep improving it. The asphalt driveways are finished. It looked like all the concrete driveways got repaired
Mhm.
this week, but that would have happened after the meeting. So
Okay.
I can't tell you 100%. Supposed to. Ordinance 153A-2 is, remember I talked about the fishing license, fishing without a license,
Oh, yeah,
becoming a
that-
local ordinance, becoming
Yep.
civil infractions. Went through its second reading, so that's going to become an ordinance.
Okay.
Just has to go through a legal process. Goes to the
And the takeaway on that was that the village police could enforce if you didn't have a permit. They could write you a citation versus DNR or somebody else.
Yeah, and then it would also be just a civil infraction, so it would be a fine.
Yeah.
Instead of being an actual misdemeanor.
Sure.
So that would be an improvement for someone, so it's not a misdemeanor.
Right.
And then it also gives us the small funding that we do get from it. We do get to keep the funding, doesn't
Sure.
go back to.
Okay.
Well, weren't they still allowed to do the ticket? It was just, if I understood correctly.
Yeah,
from the
it's still an offense, it's still a
They,
misdemeanor.
they were still allowed to, but they were just not getting the funding, and it was a harder offense than they thought fit, from what I understood from.
Yeah, this is a good thing, so if like the 17-year-old kid who just turned 18, never had a fishing license, makes a mistake, it's like, if they write him, a citation, it'll be just a fine,
Mm.
instead of, putting something on his record
Right.
day one.
Yeah.
So it is kind of more of a friendlier
Permanent
ordinance
record.
too, helps keep some money in the house, and it's something we can easily enforce, so.
Yeah, and you'll probably be more likely to get that infraction because there's village police on the lake. Yeah, so get your licenses, your fishing licenses. Yeah.
That's what they
Make sure you're following the rules.
Have that in, you guys see the culvert that's supposed to go in this weekend?
Over
on,
here?
South Conference Street?
I don't think you can miss it.
So-
That thing's huge.
Yeah, that's supposed to be closed Thursday?
September 20th, so is that Friday?
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
So it's supposed to be through the 22nd. The RCOC put a
Did
letter
they
out
fix
after
the
one.
beaver dam?
We didn't hear anything about the Beaver Dam in the last meeting. I
No?
hope they did.
Okay.
So,
All right.
but Commerce was looking at that.
Okay.
So. And then the Marine Patrol officer did come in, and they gave a nice end of the season brief to
Well,
us.
they usually do that for us.
How many tickets they wrote and everything too. Said it was a safe season, no big accidents, anything like
Good,
that.
good.
Say a lot of the citations they wrote, most of them for high speeding outside of no wake hours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Said most of it wasn't really residents, it was visitors to the lake,
Mhm.
fishermen and whatnot. And then they even, Grenwell's nice enough to say they did get opportunities, people to take motor safety classes. So they did have issues and multiple citations. There was like, hey, if you do actually go take motor safety and you get brushed up on this, we'll
Take it.
dismiss some
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So they did give some opportunity, which was nice to see that,
Mhm.
like, had
How
a
many
big strong
takers?
stance on too. That was-
Any idea how
that was,
many
I think it was
takers?
like 100 per citation.
No, how many takers of the class? did
Oh,
that?
I'm sure. So he said there were people actually did do it.
Okay.
They went to court and they dismissed it
Okay.
right there. So as a Marine Patrol officer, he can just dismiss it. Doesn't have to go through like the prosecutor.
Nice.
So that was good.
Okay. No, sometimes when they come in here, we'll talk to them about, like, if there's opportunities for additional education or anything that we could do to try and help. No mention of anything like that, obviously.
No, they were talking about motor safety classes. They pushed that. He Grunwald. It was just Officer Grunwald came in, but he did preach towards that he likes to educate people
Mhm.
more than he likes to write tickets.
Yeah, of course.
He even says like, a lot of people kind of talk their way into the ticket.
Mhm.
So, which is nice that you have a Marine officer who wants to give you a chance and
Yep.
until you burn the bridge. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fair. We have a pretty
Yep.
good crew out there. So.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been pulled over there, and I definitely deserved a ticket. And
That's tough stuff.
checked some stuff, and they let me go with a warning, go get that stuff fixed. So they seem more than fair to me.
So it's, good productive council meeting.
Planning Commission.
Did not meet.
Did not meet.
Did not meet. Meeting next week.
How many of you met this year?
I want to say 4 times.
Have you had 4?
I think 4.
All right, is that typical?
Yeah.
So you're not on the planning commission as a liaison to the water board. You're on the water board as a liaison. to
Yes,
this.
that's.
Pretty much.
That tends to be, well, the planning commission has a tendency to meet when a need arises, as
Sure.
opposed to, we don't
Sure.
meet to make things better.
Yep.
Well, we do, but I mean,
Okay.
we're reactive as opposed to proactive.
Any additional comments from anybody?
Anybody wants to see one of those things?
Yeah, we'll come out. Yeah, definitely. All right,
I move we adjourn.
second, all in favor?
Aye.